Hello, my crafty friends. It's Crystal with Happy to Plan. I am going to be working on my Cheaply Chic journals. I have these 3 journals that I've had for the last couple of months and haven't been able to work on them. I did an intro video kind of explaining what I was planning on doing. I'll definitely make sure I link that video below, and I'll try to remember to link it in the card right now so that you can check that out. And I am basically going to be doing these three journals within 6 weeks, and I'm going to use 9 different techniques. So let's go ahead and jump in and kind of start this video off by setting up each of the journals. So typically what I do is I take the ribbon closures that she typically includes, Lynette includes in the journals, and I just tie them to the binding on the outside of each of the books. Want to make sure that I keep those, so I go ahead and do that for each of them. And then the other thing that I typically do is I take the bookmark and I tape them to the inside. I generally go in the middle and then like 2 or 3 pages towards the back. I'm not exactly sure why I do that. It's just that's typically the way that it ends up. And then I just take plain old Scotch tape and I just tape it to the middle section there so that I have it. And when it's in my bookcase, it's really cool because the little bits dangle down. The other thing that I typically do is in the middle section, she leaves the strings kind of long. So I generally take the little punches and I glue them to the strings, but I didn't do that for these ones because I just think I forgot. And so I'll definitely go back and do that. And then I make sure that I add the pocket. I love having the pocket there in the front just to kind of catalog what the book is about. And I don't really have an idea of what I'm going to be doing with these. I typically don't. Generally speaking, I just kind of use them to decorate. I do have a thought what I'm going to do with the Valentine's Day one, so I'll go over that in a second, but let me kind of tell you what I'm doing here. I am putting in the little note that comes with the collections. So she writes a sweet little note for every one of her collections, and I like to keep that. So I typically put that in the back, and you can see that I just glued it there on the back so that I could completely open it up and still see all of the information. So that's generally like how I like to do it. And so yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead and start the process of using one of the doing one of the techniques. And for this one, my inspiration came from this long like playing card like score sheet. So what I did was I basically bent that, or I folded it in half, and then I folded it in half about an inch and a half out to kind of make like a little side pocket. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue that to the bottom to make that a pocket that goes along the whole cross of the bottom there, the whole middle page. So for this particular journal, what I think I'm going to do is I do a lot of gaming I have a gaming group. It's one of my other hobbies that I do. And it's basically board gaming. And I think I'm going to start documenting that a little bit more. I've been hosting some board games, obviously not during the pandemic, but I want to start hosting some more again when I have, like, my friends are getting vaccinated, so we're going to potentially do something pretty soon here. So I think it would be fun to kind of document those things. So I think that's what I'm going to use this book for. Instead of like a Valentine's Day book, be more like something that I love, which is board games. So you can see that I basically glued around the edges, and then I had that one little card thing. I think that might have come in the collection, but she did send me a separate pack of stuff, so maybe that also came from there. But I thought that was appropriate because it was like a little game board piece. And then I had that little journal card that says clap. So I've had that in my stash forever. So that I just put that on there, and then I am going to go ahead and just I'm going to put that little lucky bingo card there and a little Monopoly card. And then I'm going to paper clip those together just to kind of keep them together. And then I'm going to add some stickers to the page as well, I have this set of game-themed stickers, game night theme stickers. So I took the domino pieces and I'm just going to go ahead and add them to the page there. We don't actually technically play dominoes, but that's all right. And then I'm going to add some dice there on the corner. And that's the centerpiece. So I'm going to do something similar to that for each of the different books. So the whole preface of this, the whole like thing for this little series that I'm doing is that I do the same thing for each of the books. So obviously it's not going to be the exact same thing because I do make them theme oriented. So even though so it's going to be basically the same thing for each of the different books. So I'm not like recreating the wheel. I'm just kind of coming up with 9 different techniques and kind of showing you different ways to do those techniques. So this one is, using 2 pages to make a pocket, and you can see right now what for the Valentine's Day one, or the love of gaming one, I put it as a pocket. So this one I'm actually going to do it as a belly band. So I was really inspired by this little piece of something. I don't know, it's like a little vegetable packaging or something for green beans. And I wanted to go ahead and use that as the belly band. So I'm just gluing up the 2 sides of each of the piece of paper there and then gluing that on. And then I decided I wanted to do a little bit more decorating there. So I took this little pocket that I had with the card in it, and I liked that I can't remember what that is. I actually have the book right here. It's like a little, I think it's a pasture bottle cap. Yeah, it's a dairy, like a little dairy bottle cap. And I liked that it had the blue, so it kind of matched the green bean thing. What is this, like packaging, I guess? And so I just layered up another little ticket that I had that says 1 pint of milk, and then a little price tag ticket thing. And just to give it some texture, I put some twine, or what is that stuff called? Tulle, that's it. Some tulle behind there just to give it some texture. So I'm just going to layer those pieces up and glue them together. I was originally thinking I was going to try to make the little price tag thing just tucked in there in the middle, just like something that could be pulled out. But it didn't really work because of the tulle that I added. It kind of wasn't able to make it a tuck spot. So I just glued it all together. And so I'm just going to get that glued down. And I'm just using Fabri-Tac to glue everything. So at this point I was still hoping I could make that little price tag ticket thing a tuck spot, but you can see it kind of was like, it just didn't quite tuck good enough in that spot. So I just decided to glue it down. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue that pocket down, but I did want to be able to still add something to the belly band. So I have this little guest check, so I'm just going to put that in there, and then I'm going to glue around so that I can still have that guest check and pull that guest check in and out without the interference of this little pocket. So just making sure it's all going to work. And then I did add some additional glue there at the top. Okay, and then I think I add, oh yeah, I do add the time card that came in the collection. I just went ahead and trimmed that up on the bottom and the top, and then I added that to the other side. So there you go. So there is kind of the same concept, but just in a belly band instead of a pocket. And for this one, the collection came with a piece of tulle that had like these gold or like foiled leaves on it. So I put that behind, I just glued that to some paper, some scrap paper that I had, and I'm just going to go ahead and attach that. And this time I'm actually attaching it to the top of the page so that it's a bottom pocket instead of a top pocket, or bottom. It's a top pocket instead of a bottom pocket. Said that wrong. So you can see that now what I can do is I can add this cute little stamped tag that Cheaply Chic included in the collection, and I can just have the little mushrooms sticking out of the bottom. And I have this fabric. I got this fabric from Walmart 2 falls ago, and it has like all this little patchwork stuff on it, and it had this little patch of mushrooms. So I went ahead and just trimmed that out. Sorry, I'm not doing that on camera. And then I trimmed the little moth thing out as well. And what I'm basically going to do is just layer up those fabric pieces. Again, just to add a little something to decorate the page with. And I just take my fabric tack and I glue it down. Now, when I'm gluing it down here, you really do need to be careful, because if you use too much glue, it will kind of show up in the, it'll seep through the fabric. So you do have to be careful when you use fabric tack. I am looking for a sticker. This collection is the collection that she used to create the book. It's a Simply Stories collection. I don't remember what it's called, but it has like, basically it's like an adventure pack with a bunch of mushrooms and leaves and butterflies and a bunch of like outdoorsy, going on adventure, camping kind of themed stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and just include that in the tag there, that sticker. Okay, so I'm really kind of like rubbing, when I'm doing the thing, you can see I'm rubbing in the glue. I mean, because you can see there that it's kind of seeping through on that side. So I added a little bit too much glue there. So again, you don't need a lot of this glue. It's pretty strong glue. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that on there. And that is gonna be that. Oh yeah, that's right. I go ahead and add another tag to the other side, and for this one I wanted to go ahead and make it a little bit more distressed. So you can see here I'm kind of crinkling up the tag, and then I'm gonna go ahead and like cut some pieces out of it and like cut some slits and stuff, and then edge them up with that's tea dye distress ink. And then when I did that to this one, I also added a sticker to the bottom. I think I added another sticker as well to that. Yep, there you go. And then when I did that, I felt like the other side looked too clean and pristine, so I went ahead and just did that same exact thing to the mushroom one. And then just tearing it up, and then again going through and inking up all of the tears. And so let me just show you all of the different designs that we came up with. So we came up with this top pocket, and then the bottom pocket with the little score sheet there, and the belly band pocket with the check. So that is everything I'm going to do for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I will see you again real soon. Bye for now.